Corey, your first question tonight comes from Steve Gelbs.
Hey, Corey. What is the preparation like for a start like this? When did you find out you'd be starting, and how prepared were you to take the ball just in case in the days leading up?
Yeah, I found out I was starting when I got to the ballpark today. It just, I've been in this situation like this before, so like mentally I was just ready to go. My name was called, and just go out there. I was just ready to compete, and, give our team a chance to win.
You've changed up your repertoire, added a little more to the repertoire this year, using that cutter more. How does that help you be more effective?
Yeah, I've worked really hard on. I started working on that last year. Anytime you can add a pitch, like a slider cutter, it's helped me. It's helped me with my fastball. It's helped me with my changeup, being able to add that extra pitch. It's a good weapon. I'm still learning it. I'm still trying to get better with it. But yeah, it's nice to have.
Next question comes from Disha Thozar.
Hey, Corey, just kind of what was working for you through those middle innings? You retired 9 straight up until you kind of got in that jam in the 4th.
Yeah, I felt like me and Nito had a good game plan going in. We worked with fastball. My fastball consistency in and out, I felt like it was pretty sharp there. I kind of started to leave balls up kind of the spots. I just thought going in and out on some of the hitters and still executing left side fastballs away. Kind of just attacked them fastballs and then mix it up there.
And then just how tough was it to kind of block out any nerves that you might have had after finding out that you were pitching today on such short notice?
I was excited, get out there, especially to start. I've been a starter, but I've been in roles like this before, so I think that helped me. But I was just ready. I was excited to get out there and just compete.
Your next question comes from Steve Gelbs.
On that Aguilar double, is that one of those situations where you just kind of got to tip your cap? That pitch looked like it was 6 inches outside.
Yeah, I mean, I look back at some video of it. Yeah, it was definitely a ball, but just that's kind of how it goes. Once that happens, you just gotta attack the next guy up. So.
Thank you for your time this evening, Corey.
Hey, Louie. Obviously for Rosario, this is a night that he's been waiting for. With those 2 hits in the 7th, the 8th, the home run is obviously more of a headline grabber. But is the fact that in his next at bat he didn't try to do too much and just took the ball the opposite way for the single, is that as good a sign as any for you?
Yeah, that's a great sign. It's good for him to build those back-to-back games or a couple of hits. His approach has gotten better. I mean, he stayed chased a few pitches tonight, but better. A lot better. He did lay off of a couple of work call strikes that he didn't commit to. So those are really good signs for him that he's seeing the ball better. He's trusting more on what he's committing to. So really really good night. That was a really clutch hit there, with just him focusing on the big part of the field, not trying to do too much. And, you got to build up for this and, stay consistent.
You talk about how he's better with his plate discipline. Obviously, he's never going to be, a Brandon Nimmo. So what are you specifically looking for when you take his approach into account? What do you like about what you're seeing, and what does he still need to lay off a little bit better?
Well, he's got to keep trusting. He's got unbelievable hand speed, and he gets to the ball really easy with his barrel, with his bat, and him just trusting to take a pitch where he's not going to be able to barrel all the time. It's just got to happen, whether it's a cold strike, whether it's out of the zone that he's chasing it. That's where discipline's got to come. That's where his experience. I mean, already as a hitter, it's got to come because he's seen a bunch of pitches already in his career. So he's got he's got to trust it. I mean, this is still the first month of the season, but he's got to start making that adjustment where he lays off with those pitches. And I thought he did a lot tonight. He did chase a few, like I said, but he had better results.
Next question comes from Disha Dozar.
Hey, Louis, what did you see from Oswalt tonight?
Well, he's attacking. Right after the first batter of the game, BR, he went after him, and that's all he did. He went after hitters. He did a good job. BR got on base. He did a really good job holding the ball, picking, and he was able to pick up BR. And then after that, it was just pretty much under control, throwing the ball, mixing his pitches, keeping the ball down, effectively down, and he gave us a lot. I mean, for him to find out late that he was going to get the start tonight and go out there and do that, I mean, it's just it just shows that he was prepared, and he's been focused when he got the chance. I mean, he got a late call, and all he did was just get ready for the game, do all the pregame stuff that he had to do, and then he threw the ball real well.
And then was there a reason Familia was warming instead of Lugo in the ninth there?
Lugo was down tonight. I mean, we've used him a few times, and we got him hot last night. He wasn't available for us out of the bullpen tonight, and Fama was ready to back up Diaz there. Something would have gone differently.
So it was just because he was kind of up and down in the bullpen last night, Lugo?
Yeah, he got hot last night. He wasn't available for us out of the pen. We just we didn't go that way.
Thanks.
Next question is from Zach Brassler.
Luis, if the next time in this rotation, would you consider, is Oswalt now an option on Sunday?
I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, right now, Oz just stepped up tonight and did a tremendous job. Right now our focus is tomorrow's game. I mean, with all the eventualities that we've faced in the last week or more than a week, it's we're going game by game. Our focus is tomorrow. We use 4 guys out of the pen today, plus Oswalt, who was supposed to be our length guy today. So, we're looking to see what we're going to have tomorrow and how the guys are, just to see the availability we're going to have out of the pen. And
McNeil is okay. He came out, I think, in the 7th inning or so.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know he just came out of a tough, what we're going to call it minor injury, but we got removed out of the game. He's got a wrap there, and we have Jimenez on the bench. So to do the defensive stuff like we've done it in the past, we're gonna plug in Jimenez later in the game for that. So nothing going on with him. It was fine through the game, and it was clear to go play defense.
Next question comes from Rich Catino.
Hey, Louis, when you look at what Brandon Nimmo has done at the plate offensively, he's combined a lot of patience with a lot of aggression at the plate. And can you talk about how difficult he becomes to pitch to because of that duality in his offense?
Well, he's a guy that has a lot of trust in his strike zone and what he believes is a strike or what he believes that is a pitch that he's looking for. So he lets the ball travel long, but at the same time he has the aggressiveness, and hitting is an aggressive approach, and he's a good example of it because he does swing at first pitches and he does swing early. He's ready to swing, but he will lay off if it's nothing that he's looking for. So just a great approach again tonight, and I know he's a guy that gets on base. He's been getting on base almost all season or the whole season for us. And today he didn't walk. He got on base 3 times, so that shows how aggressive he can be as well when he gets his pitches.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Dan Martin.
Louis, you talked a little bit before the game about the challenges of the rotation not being where you wanted and relying so much on the bullpen. How much of a toll does that take on a daily basis?
It's I mean, we've been surprised a few times, but I tell you what, there's always the preparation that we have. Talking about the depth that we have just helps to have a guy just jump in and respond right away, and that was the case with Oswalt today, and that's been showing since the first week of the season when Peterson, who's ironically is the guy now that goes to the IL, but he came in and he ended up being a 5th guy in a rotation. Now today happened with Lockett last Friday, and it happened today with Oswalt, and they were the guys that step up. So, you know, it happens, it surprises you, but at the same time, you're prepared enough, you know, with the depth that you have. There's a guy that can come in and definitely do what Oswalt did tonight for us.
Luis, thank you for your time this evening.
Have a great night, guys.
Amed, your first question tonight is from Steve Gelbs.
Hey, Amed. Last two nights, pair of hits. You know, obviously the home run and the single tonight. What have you been able to do these last two nights offensively that maybe eluded you to this point in the season?
Bueno, creo que yo me he mantenido trabajando, ¿tú me entiendes? Han sido unos días difíciles, porque al final no han estado ahí los resultados, pero yo sé que eso con el tiempo va a venir. Yo me mantengo, como yo siempre digo, positivo y trabajando.
Alan, we can't hear your answer.
So I feel like this season's been tough, but yeah, I've continued to work. I've been keeping a positive attitude, but I know that eventually with the work that I've been putting in, that the results would eventually show, like today.
So the work that you've been putting in specifically, has it been about just chasing fewer pitches out of the zone, and is that something you feel like was much better these last 2 days?
¿Tú piensas que el trabajo que tú has hecho es para parar hacer swing a la bola que están afuera de la zona de strike?
Sí, creo que sí. Ese es el trabajo que ya venimos haciendo, tratar de dejar llegar la bola y tratar de verla un poquito más y llevarla para el otro lado.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've been working on. That's something we've been working on for the last couple of days, of letting the ball getting deeper into the zone and to be able to hit it the other way.
Defensively, you had that nifty play where you had to kind of hop up off the bad hop. What is the biggest challenge, I guess, on that particular play, trying to execute it?
Defensivamente, hoy tú tuviste una jugada que la bola picó y rara. ¿Y qué difícil era una jugada así para ti?
Bueno, creo que lo primero que tú tienes que anticipar es que la bola en cualquier momento te puede brincar, ¿tú me entiendes? Es algo que la anticipación creo que es lo primordial en eso. Uno siempre tiene que mantenerse preparado.
I think the first thing you have to anticipate is that when a ball is hit, that the ball could give you a bad bounce. So I think the anticipation of any play happening is really the most important thing for me. Is I'm ready with any situation.
Next question comes from Disha Dozar.
Hey, Amed, we asked you this kind of last year too, and it's already starting to show up this season, but do you realize or have you noticed that you might be hitting better, you feel more comfortable when you're on the road than you are at home?
Se parece como el año pasado, que tú sientes que tú bateas con más cómodo cuando tú estás en la ruta comparado con la casa.
Bueno, ¿qué te puedo decir? No, es algo, por ejemplo, que este año yo me propuse tratar de hacer el mejor trabajo en los dos lados, ¿tú me entiendes? Estoy tratando de que no sea así, sino de que el ajuste salga en la casa como también puede salir afuera.
No, so this season I went in with the goal of being able to have balanced numbers, so I can have good numbers on the road, but also good numbers at home. So what I wanted to do was continue with the same adjustments at home that I have on the road, and I think that's what we're working for right now.
And then you mentioned that this season has been tough for you. Just what part of it has been the toughest for you?
Tú mencionando que esta temporada ha sido difícil para ti, ¿qué es la parte más difícil?
Los ajustes, ¿tú me entiendes? Creo que eso ha sido lo primordial este año. Y como te digo, uno sigue trabajando y no han llegado en el momento. Vamos a seguir trabajando y mantenernos positivos.
I think it's been the adjustments that I've had to make on during the season. I think that's been the most difficult part, where you have to adjust to how the pitchers are pitching you and just continue looking at how everything is going. But I think that's what we're working for right now, and today was a good step in that direction.
Next question comes from Tim Britton.
Hey, Amed. Louis talked earlier this week about you maybe trying to cover too many areas of the strike zone, trying to cover that inside pitch while still getting to the pitch on the outer half. Is that something you've focused on, and how do you work at that?
Luis dijo que quizás tú quieres cubrir demasiado del plato, que quieres cubrir de lo que está adentro, pero también de lo que está afuera. ¿Cómo tú te enfocas en un approach?
Bueno, es difícil por ejemplo, taparlo, por ejemplo, con un dedo, que yo soy una persona agresiva cuando voy a batear, ¿tú me entiendes? Y nada, ahora mismo lo que estoy tratando de hacer, buscando un picheo, me estoy enfocando solamente en buscar un picheo en la zona del plato y tratar no te voy a decir que voy a cambiar de un día para otro, pero estoy tratando de poner la zona más pequeña y tratar de buscar ese picheo.
Yeah, I'm an aggressive hitter, and it's hard to pinpoint one thing because obviously the plate is big. But what I've been trying to do the last couple of days is try to shrink my strike zone so I could be able to focus in on the pitches that are close and that I feel like I can do damage with. But that's what I've been doing the last couple of days, and I'm just really trying to avoid chasing as many pitches as I have.
And then on that home run in the 7th inning, just how good did it feel to jump on a pitch on the inner half the way you did like that?
Y en ese jonrón, qué bien se sintió para poder dar una bola que estaba adentro así.
Bueno, me siento, creo que hasta sorprendido, ¿tú me entiendes? Porque yo no soy un bateador naturalmente que pulea, ¿tú me entiendes? Y se siente bastante bien, ya que, por ejemplo, estaba pasando por un mal momento y creo que el trabajo de hoy se vio.
No, it felt good, honestly. I was even a little surprised because I'm not a natural pull hitter. So for me to be able to turn on a pitch like that and be able to hit it like that, it showed that all the work that I've been putting in, it shows that the work paid off today.
Thank you for your time this evening, Amed. Okay. Your next
Good?
question.
No, I'm here. You just unmuted me, Ethan. I was waiting for you. So Brendan, the other night, the other day, you were talking about how, despite the on-base percentage, you really hadn't felt too comfortable at the plate. The way that you've been, really making contact over these last few games, has that turned a corner for you now? Do you feel more comfortable at the plate?
Well, I mean, tonight definitely felt better. But it's still a work in progress, but we're definitely making positive strides. We're just continuing to try and work on, like you said, I'm trying to put the ball in play a little bit better, in early counts when I get the pitch. And so I was able to do that tonight. So that's a positive move. I think that's a positive thing going forward as far as my swing goes. So yes, we are moving in the right direction. And hopefully we can just continue it. But again, the game, is make adjustments. So pitchers are probably, the Marlins probably are going to make adjustments tomorrow, and I'll try and capitalize on mistakes. But yes, to answer your question, I think we are moving in a better direction.
So it's somewhat strange to ask these questions and continue going in that direction because you've been such an on-base machine. But is it something along the lines of you are trying to get your swing to feel better by changing your approach a little bit, or because you're starting to feel a little more comfortable at the plate, you're able to do these things a little bit more?
Yes. Because I'm feeling a little bit better at the plate, I'm able to attack a little bit better earlier in the count. Because, sometimes if you're not feeling good and you just roll over that first pitch fastball, hey, guys hit differently, but then I just feel like, gosh, I just failed the team on that one. If I know that I'm not feeling good, if I feel good and that happens, then okay, I know that I feel good and I missed that one or whatever. But if I feel like, okay, I can see a few pitches here, do my team a service here by seeing a few, and also it helps me out by seeing more pitches, and again, just honing in the strike zone even better. So yes, you're right to the latter. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable, so that allows me to fire a little bit earlier.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Rich Catino.
Brandon, can you kind of expound on what Steve was talking about you've been a very patient hitter your whole career, and this year you're getting on base a lot. Do you think that gives you an advantage with pitchers maybe trying to get ahead of you in the count quickly, and is that giving you more pitches to be aggressive with?
Yeah, I think that's the ebb and flow of the game, you know, and the adjustments the pitchers make. If you're getting on base and hitting balls hard early in the count, then they're going to be less apt to give you like stuff right down the middle to hit early in the count, and therefore then you walk more. I think it's an ebb and flow kind of thing. I've never thought of walking as being a bad thing. I just felt like, okay, that's means maybe they don't, you know, they're kind of pitching around you, or you're fouling off some pitches and extending your at bat. So that's kind of what I see as the ebb and flow is like, okay, then they don't want to walk you anymore. They want to challenge you. So they come to you with a little bit better pitches possibly. Don't get me wrong. They're going to be those ace guys that, you know, just hit the corners and do what they do regardless of what you're doing. But for the most part, that's kind of how I see the game, is a little bit of that ebb and flow of if a guy's aggressive, they might try and stay away a little bit earlier, see if he'll get himself out. And if he's not, then they want to get ahead right away. So, you know, I think that's kind of that making adjustments part again.
Your next question comes from Ed Coleman.
Hey, Brendan. You're a guy who can and does use the whole field, but lately, you know, most of your hits have gone to right or right center or whatever. You're pulling a little bit more. Is that a conscious effort, or are they trying to work you inside a little bit more?
Yeah, they've been working me inside. The Marlins have, and especially with 2 strikes, as you've seen, they've been shifting over with 2 strikes and then trying to get me to hit into that, which I did the first at bat. And so again, that's part of it. But they're not going to hit their spot every time. You know, they might leave a ball out over the plate, and I might be able to burn them the other way. And, you know, get a nice little ground ball, kind of like I did that last at bat. How that found its way through, I could definitely do that the other way as well. So again, just trying to find those holes. That's the name of the game, is hit them where they aren't. And you know, I have been able to get the ball, the barrel out a little bit this series. But you know, that doesn't mean that you know, tomorrow, you know, a few hits won't go the other way. It just is you know, where they're pitching the ball. And they've executed a couple times on, you know, coming in and shifting over. And but like I said, they'll make mistakes, and so you know, hopefully we can do damage with that.
Thanks.
Brandon, thank you for your time this evening.
No problem.